Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, doing it once again. Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, chapter 218, 218, y'all. This video won't be long. You know I say that sometimes, but true enough. Because the layout of this chapter is very simple. It was focused mainly on Sheba, and then the ending. And overall, the interaction, it was a bit of world building as well. So here's how it goes. With Sheba, she makes friends with, what she call him? Momo. Momo and his fam. She makes friends with him, and she's find a way to communicate with him. And he talks about how his family, how they lived, and his father died. And how did his father die? Well, when they were mind controlled, when him and some of his comrades, his friends were mind controlled, they killed each other. And she can't let that down. Sheba can't leave that down because it was partially her. Kill each other. It was. She wasn't the only one magician up in there, but it was her, and she's taking this hard, man. Yo, the denial. She's like, no, I can't believe that did it. It was short denial. Then it was a boatload of guilt throughout the chapter. Boatload of guilt. And then eventually she admits she's a great sinner. Great sinner. So that whole guilt aspect, think of it, it leads to maturity. And I'm not saying don't be remorseful, but guilt can be very debilitating. And she's repentive, but you can tell her youth as well, and all this is hitting her, and she's realizing the totality of the situation. And I love how Solomon, he said, I see thrice. Okay, he said, I see, as he's reading this, and she's admitting all this jazz to him, and he's like, you know what? Now that you admit that, I actually like you. So how their relationship will unfold. Solomon's more or less a catalyst for her, as well as a catalyst for the world. So it's quite interesting. Solomon's quite young, but he already has wisdom beyond his years. So I think we're going to get more or some kind of flashback within a flashback, because this is a flashback arc. Almatoron is a flashback arc. So we're going to get a flashback or so about Solomon coming to the realization. And also with the whole thing with Young Master, because if you look at the end of the chapter, the fact is, Solomon and the rest, Ethnon, Wahid, Faina, oh jeez, I forget, all the names, Seta, all of them. They apparently were all magicians at one point controlling the Ganud towers. So that's very interesting, very, very interesting. And this is actually probably going to be my shortest review of Magi ever. Not only that, you look at what I'm about to say, the interaction at the beginning. Once again, we get the interaction with the main 7 or so, 6 or 7, the six other ones, the 6 household members of Solomon at this point. Solomon, we get Wahid holding, and they mentioned it before, but Wahid holding it. Is it Falon holding her booze? Anyways, all but doing her thing. They're talking in just their different ways of conversing. I thought that was quite interesting. Good times. But that was great. But that ending up where them airships come out of nowhere. Now, right before that, apparently, I think Solomon talked with, or somehow communicated with, the Manticores, and they were telling them that just very recently, the more of the split happened between the continents. So apparently it was intentional against Solomon and his group, against the resistance. So, that also ties in, now that I think about it, that also ties into what we saw the last scene with the whole airships and the people who got the same powers, the Ganud. Okay, so these magicians this is going into a war situation, and they do hype up the next chapter for us. We don't even have to be hyped. This chapter wasn't super hype for me, but they hyped it up. So expect a battle. That's all I'm going to say on that element. So it seems like, and one can say this, it seems like the Almatoron / flashback arc is going to be quite lengthy. That's what it seems like. It may be the lengthiest arc in Magi so far. Now, I'll get to one point at the end of this when I go in this. Solomon and the rest say, we were all great sinners. As I mentioned, they were doing that. But how did they come to self-aware? Like, what happened? We need that explanation. We need that explanation. And the fact that Otaka's writing a story like this is very quite interesting. I'm not gonna give my commentary on that just yet. I want to see how this all plays out. This Omotora on there. I want to see how this plays out. And then I may do an analysis or talk about it in the last video of the chapter, the video after the chapter is done. But yeah, man, the revelation that they were all members of one of the Gnuds or all in the same Gnud at one point is very interesting, very, very interesting. And they're about to go in. Like Solomon, you know, he's out ahead, and then they're about to back him up with their different magics. Okay. If there's 7 of them, aren't there 8 magics? Yeah, I believe there are 8 magics. But one of the things I'm about to say, what was it I'm about to say? It was a thought I had with what was I about to say? Damn, I forget. I hate forgetting what I was about to say. It's about Otaka and this thing about being halfway done. If that's the case, then so be it. But I'm still holding out hope for the 1001 Nights. I'm just saying though. Since it's, you know, heavily based off of that, I'm just saying I want that 1001 Nights. That's just me. If it goes 500, 400 chapters, so be it. As long as Magi finishes off excellent, we get all our questions answered. But if this arc goes long, then... But we're only in the early 200s, so it is what it is. Alright. Overall, I get this chapter. I'm struggling between a 7.5 and an 8. I'll just go 7.5. I'll say it was an excellent chapter of Magi. You know, there was plot progression, not super much, but it was mainly the characterization and character development of Sheba. A bit more backstory on Solomon and his group and the Resistance, as well as there was a bit of world building and a bit to look forward to. You know, a bit suspense, you can say. So, those are my thoughts. What are yours? The Unexpected Wonder. Till next time, y'all. Peace.